President Clinton last week had more luck north of the border than inside the Beltway. His summit with Boris Yeltsin got favorable reviews even as his jobs bill was being victimized by a Republican filibuster in the Senate. Both stories are parts of a political chess game worthy of our grandmasters, Bob Squire, Roger Ailes. Guys, long time no see. How you been?
Good morning.
Good. Good. Let's first do Vancouver. What kind of marks do you give Bill Clinton?
Well, I think his the Soviet package is a good package. I think he did a pretty good job. I think, proved adept at dealing with a foreign leader, and I think he's doing the right thing. He's supporting the Soviet package.
You going to be able to sell it?
I think so, yeah, because it is in America's best interest, although we should stop saying that because then the Soviets are not going to be grateful for the money we're giving them. But basically, I think he'll sell it, and I think it's a good idea.
We got agreement?
We absolutely have agreement. He did a very good job, and I think he also learned from one of the minor mistakes that Bush made in foreign policy, which was not to get into a kind of buddy system with foreign leaders. He is close to Yeltsin, but it is clear that that what he is doing is sidling up to the democracy movement and the democracy in the Soviet Union.
I disagree with that. I think the buddy movement was proven by the notes that Yeltsin took about the Japanese. One of the things in foreign policy is you don't sit around with one foreign leader and badmouth another foreign leader. So I think maybe Bill Clinton learned a lesson on that.
Let's move to the president's job stimulus package. It's being hung up by Republican filibuster in the Senate. Will you admit Republicans are holding all the cards? They're going to win this one?
I don't think they're going to win this at all. I think when they go home, they're going to get a chance to look at the election returns one more time and find out that Bill Clinton won this election, and he won this election because he said he would do something about the economy. Now, the Bush people are talking about
He's trying to slow it down.
The Bush people are talking about this being the Bush recovery. I mean, the Bush recovery was coming around the corner every year of Bush's presidency, and the fact is, we never saw it. Now we're going to get a recovery out of Bill Clinton if they'll allow this.
So you think they're going to go home, see the light, and come back?
Absolutely. Nothing like a dose of voters to straighten out
the Republicans have already won it. This morning on the front page of the New York Times, Stephanopoulos is saying they're going to have to compromise. This isn't a jobs bill, it's a spending bill, and the American people want Bill Clinton to stop spending their money, and the Republicans are the ones standing in the doorway. So the Republicans are winning this battle, and it's driving them crazy.
You at all worry they could win the battle and lose the war? In other words, they can get a compromise but be viewed as the architects of gridlock?
Well, no, I think that we've had 12 years of gridlock with the Democrats. We've had about 3 days of gridlock with Republicans.
But if the shoe fits.
Yeah, but there's good gridlock and bad gridlock. If you're going to stop people from wasting your money, that's good gridlock.
Wait a second. Let me get this straight.
Your gridlock and our gridlock
is good, but Democratic gridlock is bad.
If you're going to stop spending, the American people want the government to stop wasting their money, and that's what this gridlock is about.
I just let him talk for 5 more minutes.
Wait. They're going to put a driveway in a cemetery, which is going to create 3 jobs at $150,000 a job. The American people don't think that's a good idea.
You can look at any recovery program and pick one item out and make fun of it. The fact is that this is going to produce jobs, and the jobs are going to help make this economy
recover.
I
have a nephew who'd like to get one of those jobs in that cemetery for $150,000.
Hey, have him apply for the job, but don't have him tell them that he knows Roger Ailes.
It seems clear right now that the president is going to miss his self-imposed deadline for health care reform. It's going to haunt him?
No, I don't think so. His wife, who's in charge of the program, is going through a very, very tough time right now because her father is gravely ill. And I think that people are going to allow her the time it's going to take to do this and do it right. After all, again, we waited a long, long time for this through 3 Republican administrations. I think they're going to give us the time to do this properly.
I think Hillary deserves some time because of her personal problems. On the other hand, they have 511 people in the committee, and it's amazing to me they can't operate when she's out of town.
And you think the committee is just stopped dead when she's out of town?
Yeah, I think she's holding all the cards.
Ross Perot, he's been throwing a variety of barbs at the president, even went so far as basically call him a liar last week. The rantings of a paranoid loser or someone with a real objective?
Oh, he's got a real objective, and that is to stay
Not that he's not a paranoid loser.
The rantings of a paranoid loser with a real objective.
His real objective is he wants to be a paranoid winner.
Can you get to his people without going through him?
Yeah, and that's the trick. And I think the problem is if you look at Clinton's voters and his voters, what's fascinating is Clinton's voters by big margins want the government to do something for them to improve the quality of their life. If you look at Perot voters, they basically don't. Perot voters are sort of hands-off government, and so it's a very delicate message that Clinton has to send to his base and to Perot voters.
If you're advising Bill Clinton, how do you advise him to deal with a guy you've labeled a nut?
Well, I think you only deal with him one way. I think you have to listen to what he has to say. If there's any merit in it, thank him, and then tell him, kiss him off. Tell him to go away. You're running the government.
Don't deal with him.
I wouldn't deal with him very much because Ross Perot's history is he always bites the hand that feeds him, and he wants 100% of everything he wants 100% of the time. And if you don't kiss his ring 100% of the time, then he turns on you and tries to eat you.
Yeah, finally, from the absurd file, I see B1 Bob Dornan is claiming he's considering a run for the presidency. Is that serious?
President Dornan, right?
Well, he's going to...
If he becomes president, then he becomes Secretary of Defense.
Well, that's not so bad.
See, that can't be serious.
No, I think what he's going to do is make all the other Republicans look like moderates.
But I think he ought to get a lot of exposure as he runs for this office.
Bob, Roger, good luck, guys. We're going to come on back in just a moment. There's more ahead right after these commercial messages.
The Today Show is brought to you in part by Sun-Maid Raisins. Rise and shine with Sun-Maid, America's favorite raisin.
If you're waiting for a special occasion to open that box of Sun-Maid raisins, you could be missing a better tasting bowl of oatmeal this morning. Rise and shine with Sun-Maid raisins.
I just feel like empty and negative.
Can't even face my family, let alone...
Sadness, terrible, terrible sadness.
I have to get up, and I don't want to...
Oh, my God, how worthless am I?
Pleasure seems to have gone out of life.
If this doesn't get better...
The logical best thing for me to do is to kill myself.
If you can finish several of these sentences, you may have clinical depression. Call for a free booklet or see a doctor.
You can come out of it and actually find a reason to live and actually be able to enjoy your life.
After 80 years, it's still worth waiting for. Natural whole grain goodness. Roman meal. It's that good. After 80 years, we're still making a splash. Natural whole grain goodness. Roman meal. It's that good.
All-natural Butter Bud Sprinkles and Mix from the makers of Sweet and Low. It has the flavor of butter because it's made with butter. But every serving has no fat, no cholesterol, and low sodium. So you can enjoy all these dishes and find a new use for this one.